So let the rhythm hit him, just let the rhythm hit him. Cause when you feel it in your soul, lift the sound system. Now turn it up a little louder, turn it up.
Today, from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, it's Week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Falcons taking on Jameis Winston and the New Orleans Saints.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today, our new season begins with an NFC South matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, here to welcome you to another NFL season. Always an exciting time, CD. And I tell you what, new is the opportune word here for these two division rivals, Atlanta and New Orleans. A couple of faces who have helped define this rivalry behind center, they're now gone. This is going to be an interesting one to watch.
And let's face it, it's a rivalry that always will blaze white hot, but it's definitely different now. Drew Brees gone 1 year from the Saints. Matt Ryan gone the next year from the Falcons, although he's still playing in Indianapolis. This is two teams in flux a little bit, trying to find their footing, although New Orleans still remains confident they can get back to the Super Bowl. Atlanta building for the future.
Now here come the Saints, about to begin their first possession, and the man in charge of this offense, his 8th season now in the NFL, former #1 pick, Jameis Winston.
It was terrible to see Jameis Winston suffer his torn ACL last season because he had the Saints rolling in his first year running the show in New Orleans. They went 5-2 in his starts, and they were just 4-6 after he was injured. And how about this? He only threw 3 interceptions, really addressing the big concern people had from his time as a starter in Tampa. New Orleans, they plan to roll with him for a second season and hope that last year's performance will carry over in a full season.
Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Throwing again on second down. Winston, he's going to look deep now for Landry. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. From the gun, Winston. Open man is Michael Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 43 yards. And the Saints are on the board here first in the season opener. Excellent start there. First drive of the season, big-time success, putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you got game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
So that drive, 4 plays. And it's Michael Thomas who ends it with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. First and 10 now for the Falcons, and Mariota at their own 25-yard line. Throwing is Mariota. That's complete to his tight end, Ferkser. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Mariota. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack.
And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be, trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind, because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive, so either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up getting sacked.
Now a man who did his collegiate punting just a couple hours from here in Clemson in South Carolina, Bradley Pinion to kick.
Deontay Hardy back deep.
This is taken at the 23. There he goes left side. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 77-yard punt return. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they mishit the ball and kick it right to him.
Lutz with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff.
And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
On 3rd down, Mariota. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. On the return, Hardy. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Winston. It's caught by OBJ.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Winston. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
Good call there on 1st down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years and not screaming out screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Winston. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans.
A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Saints are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. We'll see what they have drawn up here, a little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard, but more importantly, it leads to 4th down. Back now in Atlanta's second quarter action, the Falcons with the football. On now to punt, here's Bradley Pinion. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now a hit and a loose football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. We'll remind you that coming up tonight, the first Sunday nighter of the new season. And how about this for a matchup? The Buccaneers and the Cowboys from Dallas, 8:20 Eastern. Then tomorrow, Monday night, just one game here in Week 1 this year. And it'll pit the Broncos and Seahawks as Russell Wilson makes his Bronco debut. And, of course, where is it? Seattle. Coincidence? We'll let you decide. A first down throw for Winston. And that is incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. Kamara trying again. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. To throw, Winston. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Juwan Johnson from a yard out. And the Saints are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Lutz will look to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. We'll see if run fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. The Falcons ready to go back to work to start the 3rd quarter. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, Let's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. Here's Bradley Pena now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Here's Hardy set to return. And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Yeah, we dominate today.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
And out of bounds right around the 20. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. They'll try to throw now. Winston. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal.
Well, up big, but still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that,
and he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jameis Winston with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon.
And the Saints have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Well, CD, I mean, simply put, if anyone around the league wasn't paying attention to them to start the season, they will be heading into Week 2. This has been an impressive Week 1 performance.
They've certainly announced that they are ready to go, haven't they? They wanted to send a message out to the rest of the league. You better put your eyes on us. We may be someone you have to reckon with.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
On 2nd down, a run with Patterson.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
On 1st down, going back to Patterson.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 101 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener. 1st and 10, it's Patterson.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
The sack backs him up, so now Mariota in Atlanta dealing with a 3rd and long.
Back to throw here. Flush to his right. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. And this is picked up by the Saints. Past the 20. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Lutt's good on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. To throw again on 2nd down. Mariota, throw out right, taken in by Patterson. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard. Mariota. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Mariota to throw it. Over the middle, complete. It's Patterson.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out. Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis.
And the Saints are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10
at their 35-yard line.
He'll start with a give to Kamara.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. The Saints on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Winston now to throw on 1st down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Kamara up the middle. About 3 yards there to the 27. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. A 10th carry for Kamara. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's...
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. It's caught inside the 5, and he gets in. And no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead.
All right, partner, one more time. Our whole lives, you put the ball on the 3-yard line, kick the extra point. 2015, they put it on the 15 to kick the extra point. 2016, they said, we're leaving it there. So if you want to fake it, that's a long way to go. And they got it done.
I was going to say they had a 15-yard play in their back pocket.
You don't see that on too many play sheets, do you?
No.
1st and 10 now for the Falcons, and Mariota
at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, Mariota.
Got this complete to the tight end Pitts.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing, Mariota. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. They'll throw again. Mariota. And he will find Ridley. That's complete.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Flushed out right.
He's got room at the 30. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Mariota. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
The big fella. The 40. The 30. 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Lutz with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line.
And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now.
Cameron Jordan in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day. After the sack on first down, Mariota. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
A
Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in Week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for New Orleans, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener.
Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown.